How to fix viewing the active case drop pool in CS2. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we're diving deep into a prevalent technical challenge faced by Counter-Strike 2 players, accurately viewing or discerning the active case and skin drop pool. While the concept might seem straightforward, the underlying mechanics involve dynamic server-side rotations, complex probability algorithms, and the reliance on external data aggregators, making a definitive and constantly up-to-date view surprisingly intricate. The challenge isn't merely about finding a single web page, but about understanding the volatile nature of game economy data, troubleshooting potential data discrepancies, and ensuring that the information you access is both current and reliably presented. This guide will meticulously break down the technical solutions to ensure you can not only find the relevant information, but also interpret it correctly, mitigating common pitfalls and misconceptions surrounding CS2's evolving drop system. Our objective is to equip you with a comprehensive technical toolkit to address every facet of this viewing dilemma, from browser-level diagnostics to advanced data cross-referencing and an in-depth understanding of Valve's dynamic content delivery. We'll explore how client-side configurations, network integrity, and the very nature of third-party data aggregation contribute to the overall fidelity and accessibility of the active drop pool information. This deep dive moves beyond superficial advice, offering actionable technical steps to resolve any ambiguities or access issues you might encounter in your quest to accurately monitor CS2's ever-changing economic landscape. Image 2.png. Here are the detailed technical solutions to fix and enhance your viewing of the active CS2 drop pool. Validate primary data source URL authenticity. Always ensure you are accessing a legitimate and reputable data aggregator, such as csgeodatabase.com/cases, by verifying its URL for correct spelling and the presence of an SSL certificate indicated by https:// in your browser. Utilizing canonical sources is crucial to prevent misinformation or phishing attempts that could compromise your system or data integrity. Technical validation involves inspecting the certificate details for the issuing authority and expiration date, ensuring the domain is officially registered to a known entity, thereby securing the data flow from potential man-in-the-middle attacks. Cross-reference multiple reputable data aggregators. To counteract potential discrepancies or delays in data updates from a single source, always cross-reference the reported active drop pool with at least 2 to 3 other well-regarded community or commercial data aggregation platforms. This distributed verification strategy helps in identifying real-time shifts and confirms the consensus among active data trackers. Analyzing data from multiple sources like Steam community market listings, third-party trading sites, and other inventory databases allows for a robust statistical validation of current drop items, providing a more reliable aggregate view of the volatile drop pool. Perform a comprehensive browser cache and cookie purge. Stale cached data or corrupted cookies can frequently interfere with the dynamic loading of updated content on websites that display real-time game information, leading to outdated or incorrectly rendered drop pool lists. Initiating a full browser cache and cookie purge forces your browser to fetch fresh data directly from the server, eliminating local data inconsistencies. This operation should be executed by navigating to your browser's privacy or history settings, selecting the option to clear all browsing data for all time, and subsequently restarting the browser to ensure a clean state for subsequent website access. Evaluate website rendering on an alternate web browser. Different web browsers utilize distinct rendering engines and interpret web standards with varying degrees of compliance, which can sometimes lead to display issues or script execution failures on certain data-intensive websites. Testing the drop pool website on a secondary browser, such as Chrome, Firefox, or Edge, can quickly isolate if the viewing problem is browser-specific. This diagnostic step helps pinpoint if the issue stems from a particular browser's engine quirks, extension conflicts, or an outdated browser version, guiding you towards a resolution through updates or alternative browser adoption. Systematically disable all browser extensions and add-ons. Browser extensions, particularly ad blockers, privacy tools, and script injectors, can inadvertently block critical scripts or content delivery networks used by dynamic data websites, preventing the accurate display of the active drop pool. Temporarily disabling all extensions provides a clean browser environment to ascertain if any add-on is interfering with content retrieval. If disabling extensions resolves the viewing issue, re-enable them one by one to identify the specific culprit, allowing you to either configure its exceptions or seek an alternative extension for uninterrupted data access. Conduct a thorough network connectivity and DNS resolution check. Unstable network connections, high packet loss, or misconfigured DNS servers can significantly impede your browser's ability to reliably resolve domain names and fetch data from external servers, resulting in slow loading times or incomplete web page displays. Perform ping and tracert commands to the website's domain to assess network latency and route integrity. Verify your DNS server settings, e.g., using Google DNS or Cloudflare DNS, and flush your local DNS cache via IP protocol configuration/flushtons in the command prompt to ensure that domain name lookups are efficient and correctly resolving the website's IP address. Investigate website server-side availability and API status. The reliability of third-party drop pool aggregators depends entirely on their backend servers and API interfaces that scrape data from Valve systems. Check the website's official social media channels, status pages, or community forums for announcements regarding server maintenance, API downtime, or data synchronization issues that could be affecting the displayed information. Server-side outages or API rate limit throttling can temporarily prevent data updates, leading to a static or outdated drop pool display, making external status verification an essential step in diagnosing the problem. Verify your CS2 account's prime status eligibility. The active drop pool, especially for valuable cases and skins, is exclusively accessible to accounts with Prime status, which enables weekly drops for eligible players. Ensure your Steam account prominently displays active Prime status, as its absence directly impacts your eligibility to receive drops and the relevance of viewing the Prime exclusive drop pool. Technically, the game client communicates your Prime status to Valve's backend, which then flags your account for inclusion in the weekly drop lottery. Without this flag, even if you view the pool, the chances of acquiring items are null, making the viewing experience less relevant. Differentiate between case drop pools and collection skin drop pools. CS2 features distinct drop mechanisms for weapon cases and individual weapon skins from active collections, each operating on separate rotational schedules and probability matrices. Understanding this fundamental distinction is crucial, as the active drop pool can refer to either or both, leading to confusion if not clearly segmented by the data source. Cases typically have a more stable, albeit rotating, pool of eligible drops, while collection skins rotate more frequently and are often tied to specific map pools or operational periods, requiring careful observation of the data aggregator's categorization. Analyze the probability matrix and rarity distribution. The viewing experience can be misleading if one doesn't grasp the extremely low statistical probability of acquiring high-rarity items from the active drop pool, often expressed as percentages below 1%. Understand that observing a rare item in the pool doesn't imply a significant chance of acquisition, but rather its theoretical availability within a pseudo-random distribution system. The in-game drop system utilizes a complex algorithm where item rarity exponentially decreases the drop chance, ensuring that extremely valuable skins and cases remain scarce, thereby maintaining their market value despite being technically viewable in the active pool. Consult official Valve news and CS2 update patch notes. Valve frequently updates the game's drop system, introduces new cases, retires old ones, and adjusts collection rotations through official patch notes and blog posts. Regularly reviewing these official communications is paramount, as they contain the definitive information regarding changes to the active drop pool, often preceding third-party updates. These official announcements serve as the primary source of truth, detailing the technical parameters of drop eligibility, item additions, and deprecations, which directly impact the composition of the active pool and any external display of it. Engage with CS2 community data analysis and forums. Vibrant communities on platforms like Reddit, specialized forums, and Discord servers often feature dedicated threads and collaborative efforts to track and verify the active drop pool through player submissions and statistical analysis. Engaging with these communities can provide real-time updates and discussions that might clarify ambiguities from aggregated sites. Community-driven efforts often identify newly added or removed items faster than automated systems, providing a collective intelligence approach to monitoring the dynamic drop pool, especially during periods of rapid game updates or events. Examine network traffic for inconsistencies using developer tools. For advanced users, employing browser developer tools, F12, to monitor network requests while accessing the drop pool website can reveal if specific API calls are failing, returning error codes, or being blocked. Inspect the Network tab for failed requests or unusually long response times, indicating a problem in data retrieval. This granular analysis allows you to identify if the website's data fetching scripts are executing correctly, if external resources are inaccessible, or if there are any client-side JavaScript errors preventing the full display of dynamic content. Monitor third-party marketplaces for immediate price and volume shifts. While not a direct view of the drop pool, observing sudden shifts in the market prices and trading volumes of specific cases or collection skins on platforms like the Steam community market can implicitly signal changes in the active drop pool. A significant increase in supply often indicates a newly introduced or reactivated drop item. This indirect method relies on market dynamics reacting to actual in-game drops. A sudden influx of a particular item from players suggests its current inclusion in the active drop list, providing a reactive, yet often accurate, indication. Utilize a virtual private network, VPN, for geographic IP relocation. In rare instances, certain data aggregators or even Valve's own data streams might exhibit regional variations or be subject to geo-blocking, affecting the accuracy or availability of drop pool information based on your IP address. Connecting through a VPN server in a different region, particularly one close to major gaming hubs, can bypass such restrictions. This technical workaround helps ascertain if the viewing issue is localized to your geographical region or ISP's routing policies by effectively relocating your virtual network presence to a different Internet exchange point. Ensure your operating system and web browser are fully updated. Outdated operating system components or browser versions can contain security vulnerabilities or lack support for modern web technologies, e.g., specific JavaScript APIs, CSS features, crucial for rendering complex data-driven websites. Always maintain your system and browser at their latest stable releases to ensure optimal compatibility and performance. Regular updates patch critical bugs, enhance security protocols, and introduce performance improvements that directly impact your ability to reliably access and interact with sophisticated online resources like drop pool tracking websites. Perform a comprehensive malware and adware scan. Malicious software such as browser hijackers, adware, and specific types of malware can inject unwanted scripts, redirect traffic, or tamper with web page content, thereby corrupting the display of legitimate drop pool information. A full system scan with reputable anti-malware software is essential to eliminate such interference. These malicious entities often target browser processes to manipulate what you see online, making a clean bill of health for your operating environment a prerequisite for accurate and secure web viewing. Review and temporarily adjust firewall and antivirus settings. Overly aggressive firewall rules or antivirus software can sometimes misinterpret legitimate website scripts or content delivery as malicious activity, blocking their execution or preventing data retrieval. Temporarily disabling your firewall and antivirus, with caution, can help determine if they are the cause of the viewing problem. If disabling them resolves the issue, carefully configure exceptions for the drop pool website within your security software, ensuring that essential scripts and network requests are permitted without compromising overall system security. Understand the dynamic nature of drop pool rotations. The CS2 active drop pool is not static. It undergoes regular rotations, often tied to game updates, seasonal events, or even silent server-side adjustments. What was active last week might not be active today. Misinterpreting a static list as current is a common oversight. Always check for timestamp indicators or last updated information on data aggregator websites to confirm the recency of the displayed drop pool, acknowledging that inherent delays exist between server-side changes and public data reflection. Verify your CS2 game client file's integrity via Steam. Although less directly related to viewing external websites, ensuring your local CS2 game files are intact and uncorrupted can prevent obscure issues that might indirectly affect game-related data processing or the synchronization of in-game client data with Valve servers. Right-click CS2 in Steam, go to Properties, then Local Files, and select Verify Integrity of Game Files. This process ensures that your game client is in a pristine state, eliminating any local client-side factors that could contribute to broader confusion about drop eligibility or perceived inconsistencies when cross-referencing external data. Log out and log back into your Steam account and CS2 client. Session-based data, authentication tokens, and cached user states within Steam or the CS2 client can sometimes become desynchronized or stale, leading to incorrect recognition of prime status or drop eligibility. A complete logout and subsequent relogin forces a refresh of these critical session parameters. This simple yet effective step reestablishes a clean communication channel between your client, the Steam network, and Valve's game servers, ensuring that all account-related data is accurately transmitted and received, which can indirectly affect the perceived relevance of the drop pool information. Review Steam account status for any restrictions. Certain restrictions on your Steam account, such as trade bans, community bans, or VC authentication errors, can impact your eligibility for weekly drops and participation in the game economy. Although you might still technically view the drop pool, these restrictions render the drops irrelevant to your account. Access your Steam account details to confirm that your account is in good standing and free from any active limitations that could prevent you from receiving or utilizing in-game items, ensuring the viewing of the drop pool holds practical value. Consider temporary disconnection from VPN/proxy services. If you are consistently using a VPN or a proxy service for general internet browsing, temporarily disabling it and accessing the drop pool website directly can sometimes resolve issues related to geo-restricted content delivery or proxy-induced network latency. Certain websites employ anti-VPN measures that can inadvertently block legitimate traffic. Testing without these services helps rule out their potential interference with the website's functionality or data streams, ensuring that your connection appears as a standard, unrestricted residential or commercial IP. Clear your operating system's DNS resolver cache. Beyond browser-specific DNS caches, your operating system maintains its own DNS resolver cache that can store outdated or corrupted IP addresses for frequently visited domains. Flushing this system-wide cache ensures that all applications, including your web browser, perform fresh DNS lookups. Execute IP protocol configuration/flushdowns, Windows, or sudo kill-all, HUPM DNS responder, macOS, in your system's command line interface to clear this cache, which can resolve persistent domain resolution issues affecting website access. Isolate the issue by using an alternative device or network. If all other troubleshooting steps fail, attempting to view the active drop pool website from a completely different device, e.g., a smartphone on cellular data, another computer, or a different network connection can help isolate the problem. This determines if the issue is specific to your primary device, its configuration, or your local network environment. By introducing new variables in device and network, you can definitively pinpoint whether the viewing impediment is a universal website problem, a localized network bottleneck, or a unique configuration conflict on your primary workstation. We trust this deep dive guide has provided you with the technical expertise needed to effectively troubleshoot and accurately view the active case and skin drop pool in CS2. Understanding the interplay between dynamic game data, third-party aggregators, and your local system's configuration is key to navigating this complex aspect of the game's economy. Armed with these solutions, you are now better equipped to decipher the ever-changing landscape of CS2 drops, ensuring you receive the most current and reliable information. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more professional, in-depth technical guides and insights into the digital world.